You're listening to The Bounding Box, where we talk about web development, geo development, and everything in between.
Welcome to the Bounding Box. All right, people, 2025. This is the first episode for season 4. It's been a while, but I've been on vacation. I've been busy, so leave me alone. So I am happy to have our guest here today. We have Amy Niessen. Amy, please introduce yourself. Tell us what you do. What's your problem?
Hi, Renee. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone. My name is Amy Niessen. I'm the developer community manager at Esri. I will be coming up on 18 years this
Oh,
year
wow.
at Esri. So yes, very proud, very excited. Happy to be doing what I do. Love it. My problem, that's a good question. I'm trying to think. I think probably right now, my problem is I'm missing a tooth.
Really?
Yep. I had to have dental surgery, so I'm missing a tooth and I'm getting it, prepared to have that put back in,
Yeah.
get an implant, but it's a process. So that's been my problem. That's
Oh,
that's the truth.
I've done that before. It's been a long time, but I did have one over here that they left
Yeah.
it like a little stub, and then they were like, "Hey, come back in a week. We'll be ready for you." That's are you
Did they
really
fix it up
kidding
for
me?
you?
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of these here. You can't really
Oh
tell anymore,
yeah.
but
I can't even tell. Yeah, awesome. I hope I have that same can't tell, and I hope it's not sticking out or anything. But yeah, that's probably the only thing more recently that's been going on. So yeah.
oh,
Thanks for asking.
yeah. Well, Amy, I mean, I've known you a long time, maybe even
I
before I
know.
joined Esri, right? So,
I
I mean, way
know.
back in the day,
How long
you
ago? How long has it been?
gosh, early 2000s or so, I think.
Right?
It's got to be early
Yeah.
2000s around there. Uh, you were organizing the Geo meetups, and those were still going
Yep.
on. The cross country Geo meetups. Those were a lot of fun. Tell us a bit about
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, so it's been a while, but we used to travel around the United States and we would go to different cities that we felt had either an existing, developer community or one that we could kind of grow a bit. Sometimes we would tack them on with developer conferences, developer related or technology conferences. And yeah, we would just host this 4-hour gathering after work. We'd go to just select a venue, and have we would have a little bit of an intro, a little bit of maybe a keynote talk, but then we'd open it up to lightning talks, and we would invite the user community to share what they've been working on, just really quickly, 5 minutes, just let us know, and maybe how they have utilized our Esri products to enhance their projects or help them out, or a tip or trick they learned in utilizing them. And then we would just sit and network and talk and share ideas. And sometimes we different organizations, because it was a community-based event, would oftentimes share any kind of job opportunities that are available or community-based events that are coming up. It was really a nice way to connect with the community, and yeah, we enjoyed them greatly. So yep.
It was very cool. I mean, a lot of the people I'm still in contact with today are people I've met at those events. So,
I know, same. And it's really funny because along the way, as I've been, year after year, I would see people all of a sudden who I'd met at meetups. They were walking on campus, and I was like, "Wait, hi, what are you doing here?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, I work here now." I was like, "What?" And it was just really very exciting, wild, and just really happy because it seemed like this is what it's all about. It's all about communicating, networking, staying in touch, really just enjoying, what we're doing and kind of
yeah.
just delving into it. So yeah, it was a great experience for sure.
And I really like the fact that even Dev Summit, and I think even UC2 has lightning talks still. Like, well, I don't know if Dev Summit's having them this year, the lightning talks, but they do have the speed geeking, which
We
that
do
was
have
pretty
speed
close,
geeking.
right? But yeah, they used to have
Yeah,
this
very
lightning talk
similar.
stuff for users all the time. I was doing lightning talks at Dev Summit before I joined Esri.
Oh yeah.
That was fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, definitely. We had you. I remember. They were a lot of fun. We did them at the Dev Summit for many years. And then we really just took that and kind of morphed it into more of the speed geeking approach. But we definitely still do them at UC. So if anyone is interested in submitting for UC, the lightning talks, we do have that coming up pretty soon. It'll be open, so you can submit for those. But at the Developer and Technology Summit coming up in March this year, we will definitely have speed geeking taking place on Tuesday, which is March 11th. So definitely can look forward to that. Yeah.
I remember I was really bummed when I joined Esri, and I was like, "Yeah, I want to stand for Lightning Talks," and you're like, "No, no, you work here now. They're for
Oh
users."
yeah. Yeah, that's true. The lightning talks were exclusive to our users. Speed geeking is a little different in that it is Esri staff and or experts. Sometimes we do have we open it up to our distributors sometimes as well, but they are presenting those speed geeking topics. But it's a lot of fun, and users are usually benefiting from that and learning new things as they go from station to station and meet someone new every 5 minutes. It's really fun.
Nice. So you've been
Yeah.
at Esri for 18 years. How'd you get there?
Yeah.
And how'd you end up at Esri? Was it on purpose? Was it by accident?
Yeah. No, it was absolutely intentional. So but at first when so I went to school very local to the area in Redlands, California. And I'd known about Esri, but I wasn't sure because my background is actually in English composition and literature. So I was like, well, it's a geographical mapping software company. I'm not sure what I would bring, or could bring to the table here with that. But what my graduate coordinator opened my eyes to was, support, technical support, and the knowledge base articles that are written for
Oh,
our
okay.
users. And so that is, I was like, wow, that's something I could absolutely do and get involved in. So that's how I started, as I applied for a document editor position in tech support. So I'm from
Nice.
tech support. A lot of people are from tech support and they start off in
Yeah.
tech support, and so did I. So yeah, so I did that for a few years, and then I moved on to the EDN team, if you remember, the Esri Developer
Oh,
Network
that's
team.
right.
And yes, it was very cool. I actually started working with the Resource Center, if you remember that. I'm
Yep.
dating myself quite a bit by bringing these things up. But anything having to do with editing. So I was editing the videos, editing the documentation, editing the landing pages, editing, going through the forums. And and kind of developed this role of a community manager within the team. So I transitioned a bit and became a lot more involved in what the users were asking for, looking for, how to assist them, how to get them to where they needed to go. And that team absolutely coordinated and organized Developer Summit. And so I started to transition into building and working with and helping to support the Developer Summit. So that's how that role came to be. And then for many years, I was supporting it greatly, but then I started to become even more involved in Developer Summit because I took over running the show. So with the plenary, I'm actually backstage and I'm doing production. So I'm the showrunner is what they call it. So anytime you see somebody talking and their machine is up and they're demoing, I'm helping to coordinate all that backstage with alongside a technical team, of course. But yeah, I'm definitely doing that backstage. So my role is quite broad, and it spans all over, but I'm still very much involved in the community based information and helping folks and getting blog posts out and communicating that, our social media as well for Esri devs and Esri dev events. I'm definitely involved in that as well. So yeah, it just continued to kind of keep rolling, and that's how it originated and where it is today.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
definitely the one that keeps all that stuff going during the developer summit,
Yeah.
backstage. Any questions pop up? No, well, you gotta check with
Yep.
Amy. Verify with Amy.
Yeah, if I don't know, if I don't know or I'm not in charge of something, I know who to go to or who to get you in
Yeah,
touch with. So I'm kind of that. But that's how I work even with our community as well. So if you have questions, I may not be that specific person who deals with or works with the product or the actual person that they're looking for, but I can certainly get you in touch with who is or who does. So, yep.
I mean, you're the wizard behind the curtain, Amy.
I I just try to be as helpful as possible, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
But you definitely have your hands full. I mean, how do you keep all these different events running? 'Cause it's not just developer. I mean, developer summit, yeah, it takes up a
Oh
good
yeah.
chunk of the year. But
Oh
like you
yeah.
say, you've got all these other things going on. How do you manage it all? Because it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of planning, a lot of timing, and it seems that the planning we try to get it to be even earlier and earlier each year, and you probably have noticed that as well.
Yes.
So we get started almost like pretty much a year in advance of everything. So when the event's happening in March, we, and then it ends, we start up again for the next year and start planning. So it's about there's a lot of calendar work for sure, and just making sure to write everything down. I write everything down. I'm very old school that way, where I'm just making sure to keep track of everything. And there are a lot of people and thing changes, right? There, as you can tell with the even with Dev Summit now being the developer and technology summit. So that's a really big change, and with change comes all sorts of new things. So we have to kind of plan and prepare for those as well. So there's a lot of coordination in that. Lots of meetings, lots of touch bases.
So if people are not aware, there is developer and technology summit now. Why the addition of technology in the name of the event?
Our event has always been, as you know, for developers by developers. But what we've noticed in as we've grown, we've actually gone beyond just developers. We're now catering to system architects who are interested in building and maintaining their framework. And we are also reaching out to, security engineers, DevOps engineers, and we want to be as inclusive as possible, to those audiences. And we were already to some degree doing that already, but we wanted to build on that. And to build, we had to grow a bit. So you may also notice that we've added an additional track to our technical sessions and demo theater sessions. It's now an architecture track. So it's very cool, very new. We're hitting topics of, observability, security, reliability, stability, things that help to maintain and keep a good system running. So very excited about that. And then we've also within our showcase, which is one of the key parts of attending the developer and technology summit is being in the showcase and seeing what who you can connect with, get your questions answered, doing a little bit of networking and whatnot. But we also have an area within the showcase called ArcGIS Systems, which is also like catering to those users as well. Can sit there and whiteboard out ideas, could talk about some of how to keep a healthy system, that sort of thing, keeping things secure. That's the area you're going to want to go to within the showcase. So we have that as well. And then we also expanded our code review. So we always have a code review that our users can sign up and do one-on-one consulting basically with an Esri expert or developer or engineer. And we're doing the same again, but we've expanded it as well. So it's not just a code review, but it's a code architecture and security review. So we have even more ability to kind of sit there and work with our users on any questions or concerns they have and build solutions, which is what we're trying to do. So it's very, very,
That's
very
neat.
exciting. And yeah, a lot of growth and we're looking forward to it. So yes, you will notice that name change, but also some of the changes that are taking place within the conference. So
The code review is very cool, and I'm going to take advantage of it because I get a lot of users that
yeah.
come to me with like questions that I just know you're talking like system level stuff that
Oh, yeah.
I should not answer. I don't want to give you an answer
Yeah.
because I
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
don't want to give you something wrong. So why don't I'm going to
Right.
send them over there now because that's way easier than
Yes.
having to try
Yeah.
and track somebody down.
Absolutely. So if anybody wants that one-on-one time with those code reviews, make sure to sign up. We have it on the landing page for our developer and technology summit with Esri. So
Nice.
you can actually sign up for it, and you'll want to do so ahead of time because I think I heard it fills up quite a bit. So yeah, so it's very cool. So make sure to get in there and yeah, send people over and get their questions answered. They do walk-ups as well. So
Nice. Yeah, I know we've gotten called in every now and then. They go, "Hey, I know I'm just code
oh,
review with
yeah.
someone, and could you help out with this thing and whatnot?" So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
cool. We enjoy it.
Yeah, I bet you do. I just thought about that. Yeah, I bet you get called quite a bit just to kind of get your thoughts or your feedback on certain things and or maybe if like you said, if you're not the person, you might know who is or who can get them in the right
Yeah,
direction. So,
exactly. And there's a lot
yeah.
of that at Dev Summits. There's a lot of you'll see
Oh yeah.
people just walking customers around, going, "Hey,
I
I
know.
think they got a question for you, so let's
Yeah.
try and hook someone up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the nice part is a lot of us we all work so closely together, and know each other quite well, so we know exactly where to go and how to help. So it's really nice, and it's fun to see how everybody kind of comes together that way.
And I also want to ask you, so what, with the changes and everything going on with the Developer Technology
Hmm.
Summit, the new additions, everything like that, what can people do to get the most out of it? Because it's a pretty big event, right? It
Oh, yeah.
goes 4
Yeah.
days, I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
4 days,
No,
tons of
definitely.
content, tons of things. I mean, what can someone do to kind of take in what they need to?
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's Tuesday through Friday. And I think a lot of times people can get a bit overwhelmed because there's so much and you're just like, where do I go? Where do I start? I think obviously for me, the plenary is just one thing you really don't want to miss. It's giving that overall highlighting of things that you really should know about. And so plenary, definitely placing that on your schedule there. And then of course, utilizing the custom app builder or agenda builder rather. So the custom agenda builder allows you to go in and actually select sessions from the agenda and add them to your own personal agenda, making it customized. So you can read through the descriptions of the sessions and say, you know what? This one looks really interesting and this one's for me. And it'll allow you to add into your agenda and you can see what you will have going for yourself that day and things you won't want to miss. So you can do that with those sessions, whether they be technical sessions or demo theater sessions. The technical sessions are really good. They're full of information. They're an hour. The demo theater sessions are 30 minutes, but you're sitting at the objective there in the demo theater is to actually see it happening, the actual examples that are being shown. So those are something to definitely keep in mind. Another thing not to miss are the user presentations, because those you'll be surprised at how easily you can relate to them, because people are often facing some of the same challenges or questions, and it's quite universal sometimes, and it's really nice to be able to understand how somebody overcame some of those challenges. And so you'll get that in those user presentations and also learn some very cool, neat, features or things you had no idea that the software could do. So definitely attend those. Those are on Wednesday and Thursday. We have over 20 of those. So definitely very cool and interesting to attend. And then also, of course, you don't want to miss, like we mentioned earlier, Speed Geeking. That's on Tuesday, and it's an hour from 5 to 6 on in the San Jacinto room over at the Renaissance Hotel. So you'll want to make sure to add that as well. And then, of course, you're going to definitely want to take advantage of attending the party. So we have the party on Thursday evening. It's a lot of fun. We have dodgeball. If you'd like to sign up, you can do so in advance, anytime before the party, at the registration desk in the Primrose lobby. Super fun getting involved there. Or just even if you don't want to, there's tons of games, there's food, beverages. You're going to have a great time. So those are some of the things I really would recommend not missing. And then, of course, the closing on Friday is something you want to make sure to attend because it kind of gives you what to kind of look forward to in the future for what we have in store. So that's something you definitely want to tune into as well.
That's where you get all the big dogs on stage too, answering the questions from the users and stuff, right? They get
Yeah.
through the week
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that.
we definitely yeah, they changed the format a little bit in that, we do have some information that we share from the directors as well, but they kind of made it a little bit more concise to kind of keep it focused. So
Okay.
that's a little bit more of what they do on Friday. One other thing also I wanted to make sure to mention on Thursday is our keynote speakers. So we want to make sure
Okay.
that people have that on their radars as well, because that comes from having people again with the experience that they've had their own experience in utilizing our software with their own projects. So something to definitely keep in mind with the keynote on Thursday as well.
The food for lunch on Friday is pretty good too. It's a nice,
Oh yeah.
served meal
I
and
always
everything.
find something. Oh yeah, me myself. I always worry like, okay, I don't eat meat, so I'm like, are they gonna have anything for me? Always have plenty of stuff for me, and so that's always really nice. I appreciate that, and it's always really good. I like that as
Oh
well.
yeah, that's good. And then you
Yeah,
were saying the user presentations. I'm really big on getting people to user
I
presentations
know.
because they are so
Yeah.
valuable. Because to be
Oh
honest,
yeah.
like, being at Esri now and presenting and stuff. I mean, we have
Yeah.
good data. We've got clean data to work with, and we can put all these great demos together and stuff like that. But the user presentations, these are people that are working with, like, real world data. They have to kind of
Yeah.
massage themselves, and
Oh yeah.
all these problems are going to hit, and you're definitely going to learn something from someone else that came across
Yeah.
issues you have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, the users that submit, we have people who've been in the field for a long time, have been doing this and have been hands-on within their, career on utilizing, and they've been some of them have been lifelong users, but then we also have some students sometimes who present on behalf of like their projects that they've
Oh,
done within
nice.
their programs. Yeah, so what they're doing is now looking to the future and seeing where could we take this, or what could we do with this that no one has ever thought about or considered. So it's very cool to see such a wide range of topics and interest levels. Yeah, and then different fields. Some are, they're out working, like I said, right, they're, hands-on on site sort of thing. But then you've got folks who are working on the back end of things and sharing their experiences as well. So it's really, I agree with you completely. User presentations are absolutely one of my favorites because you're hearing it from like their own mouths, like
Yeah,
what you're really working with and what you're really, facing. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, So yeah,
it's
definitely.
super valuable coming from a conference like
Hmm.
that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's gold. I think it's probably one of my favorite parts of the Developer and Technology Summit. Absolutely.
And I've got to mod those a couple of times. They're fun. Just kind of hanging out, seeing some
Oh yeah.
presentation. Because from as a presenter and being an employee at the conference, you don't really get to see
Uh-huh.
much presentations wise. You may have a free block
No, I
here and
know.
there, but we
Yeah,
don't. If
it's
we're
hard.
not presenting, we're in the showcase, one or the other. So if
Yeah,
you get to mod a
I know.
session, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, there is something to note in that we do have a subset of our sessions that are recorded, not the user presentations, unfortunately, but some of our technical sessions, we have over 200 of them. So about 40 or so are actually going to be live streamed. And they're also going to be available to those who register with digital access, available right away to them. Now, the sessions themselves are also recorded, the technical sessions, but they become available a little bit later for those who are not registered with digital access, but they will be available for viewing at a later time. If you did miss something, because I know you'd mentioned like a lot of times we are ourselves at Esri sometimes very, busy working and doing in other places, and we're not able to actually sit down and watch some of those presentations. But with them being recorded and available later, we are. So it's very nice. It's a nice feature.
I have been known to sneak out my showcase duties every now and then to catch the
I won't
last
tell.
15
I
minutes of
won't
a
tell.
user presentation.
Lips are sealed. I won't say a
Exactly.
thing. I'm a fan of user presentations so much. I'm a fan. So you won't,
Nice.
nothing will come from me. Your secret's safe.
I hope it's safe with everyone listening as well. Thank you.
Yes, it will be. Yes.
All right, Amy. I want to be respectful of your time here and all, but you got any tips, tricks, words of
Aw.
advice for listeners out there? Doesn't have to be geo related at all. Anything you want to give anybody.
You know what? I love staying in touch. I really do love communication. And I think that the more people can express some of their feelings and thoughts about, what they're working with with Esri products, and if they can communicate that, maybe via social, maybe through feedback on emails or feedback through, surveys. I strongly encourage that because we are listening. That's something that I always wonder that myself as like a consumer or a customer of other companies. Like, are they really listening? If I write something up or if I take the time to share my thoughts, are they really listening? And sometimes they aren't. But I think it's really important for our community to know we are. We're definitely listening. We're reading everything that you have to provide, and it really does make changes. It really does, because we actually do bring those ideas and thoughts and suggestions up whenever we meet and try to plan out some of these like developer events, we're listening. We're trying to incorporate that feedback in some way, shape, or form. It may not be complete, overhaul sort of thing sometimes, but it's gradual a lot of times. So please don't stop doing that. Please keep communicating with us. Feel free to always reach out to me anytime. Like I said, if I don't have the answer, which a lot of times I might not, but I know how to help get the answer. So in some way or form. So that's something I would recommend. And I think it kind of transpires over more than just with Esri, but anywhere. Like the more you can kind of communicate and give constructive feedback or, suggestions, I think it just helps us all to grow a little
Yeah,
bit. I
exactly.
mean, I know sometimes we feel like we're just doing it kind of in an echo chamber, but really there are some people who really do care, and that's us for
Yeah,
sure.
for
So
sure.
yeah.
Awesome, Amy. Well, thank you very much. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Bye, Renee.
Thank you for listening to the Bounding Box today. Please subscribe for more content.